Welcome to Reasonable Talking Points, the podcast where we try to make sense of the world without succumbing to complete intellectual chaos or, flipping out. I'm Molly, your host, a second year philosophy major student who probably spends too much time thinking about things like the trolley problem and why people love bad arguments. Today, we're diving into the truth ladder, a new and novel framework designed to help people figure out what's actually worth believing and what belongs in the recycling bin of ideas. Joining me is the creator of this framework, but before we get started, what should I call you?
Call me Philodemus. He was a philosopher who combined Epicurean philosophy with poetry, which is a fancy way of saying he thought deeply about happiness and beauty while avoiding unnecessary drama. Plus, let's be honest, Philodemus is a name that says, I'm wise, approachable, and maybe just mysterious enough to keep things interesting.
Why not use your real name? Are you dodging flat earthers or something?
Not exactly, though that's a tempting reason. I stay anonymous for two reasons. First, the truth ladder isn't about me. It's about the ideas. I want people to focus on the framework, not on whether I look like the guy who argues about Plato on Reddit. Second, it keeps things simpler. I don't need conspiracy theorists emailing me about how birds are government drones or accusing me of being part of some shadowy philosopher cabal.
So, the truth ladder. I've seen it mentioned online, but what exactly is it, and why should people care?
Great question. The truth ladder is a framework for evaluating claims. It's built around 4 rungs, each representing a level of certainty. At the bottom you have possible. Anything can be possible. For example, aliens might exist. Sure, those things are possible, but possible is a weak claim. It's the starting point for an idea. It doesn't mean the claim deserves serious consideration. However, possible is incredibly useful when talking to someone who makes wild claims. Instead of saying, that's ridiculous, you can say, well, I guess that's possible. It's a polite way of saying, where's your evidence? It keeps the conversation civil, while subtly shifting the burden of proof back to them.
So it's a philosophy hack for staying cool under pressure?
Exactly. It's about gently guiding people toward better thinking, without turning Thanksgiving dinner into a cage match. From there, we move to plausible. A claim becomes plausible when it starts to align with what we know about the world. For instance, parallel universes are plausible because they fit within scientific frameworks, even though we can't prove them yet. Aristotle would have loved this rung. It's about finding patterns and making sense of things. Next, there's probable. At this level, a claim has strong, repeatable evidence backing it up. Think of Darwin's theory of evolution. It started as plausible, but climbed to probable through overwhelming data. Finally, there's pure truth. This is rare and reserved for things that are undeniable, like mathematical proofs or the Earth orbits the Sun. Even I, a fan of nuance, would admit that some claims belong here. But the ladder isn't about achieving perfection. It's about making progress.
Why a ladder, though? Since philosophers love metaphors, why didn't you go with a web or maybe even a pyramid?
A ladder is practical. You climb it step by step, and if you're not careful, you can fall off. A web? Too chaotic. It makes people feel stuck. A pyramid? Too hierarchical. A ladder reflects progress. It's all about moving upward, one step at a time.
What about spirals? Everyone loves a good spiral.
Spirals are for notebooks and Greek desserts. Ladders are for thinkers.
I heard the truth ladder started on YouTube. What's on the channel now and what's coming next?
That's right. YouTube is where this all began. Right now, there are 2 videos. The first explains the truth ladder in detail, what it is, how it works, and why it matters. The second is called Claims, and it's all about evaluating statements, whether it's aliens built the pyramids, or this toothpaste will change your life. As for what's next, I'm working on a video about the American political system and how to choose who to vote for. It's not about charisma or memes, by the way. Another video will explore what evidence actually is, and there's one coming on the Socratic method. Your bread and butter, Molly.
Finally, my Socrates mug gets its moment to shine.
Exactly. I've also got a video planned on the scientific method. Whether I get to all of it depends on how many people watch, comment, and subscribe.
Let's talk about evidence for a moment, Philodemus. Why is it such a big deal in your truth ladder framework?
Because evidence is what separates thinking from guessing. It's the foundation of every meaningful belief. Evidence moves a claim from possible to plausible and beyond. Without it, you're just telling stories, which is fine for Netflix, but not for reality.
Why do you think that people cling so very hard to the bottom rung of possible truth?
Because it's easy. Saying, it's possible, doesn't require effort. You don't have to back it up, prove anything, or climb higher. It's like saying, I could totally run a marathon while sitting on your couch eating nachos.
What's the wildest claim someone's asked you to evaluate?
Oh, the classic. Birds aren't real, they're government drones. Apparently, pigeons are spies. If that's true, I hope they're enjoying my riveting life of overcooking pasta and forgetting my passwords.
So, I gotta ask, what's your own personal favorite rung to hang on to on the truth ladder?
Plausible, hands down. It's where the magic happens. Possible is too vague, probable is a bit too locked in, and pure truth is lonely at the top. Plausible is where ideas spark curiosity and debate. It's where real thinking begins.
The Socratic method video sounds amazing. What's the angle there?
It's about reclaiming the art of asking good questions. Socrates didn't lecture. He asked questions that forced people to examine their assumptions. This video will show how to do the same thing, whether you're debating a friend or trying to figure out why your cat keeps knocking over your coffee mug.
And the video on the political system? That sounds ambitious.
It is. The goal is to cut through the noise and focus on what matters: policies, evidence, and values. Too often, people vote based on personality or memes instead of critical thinking. This video will be a ladder in itself, helping people climb toward better decision-making.
And there you have it, folks. If you want more videos on how to think critically and climb the truth ladder, go subscribe, because I need that Socratic method video in my life. Thanks for joining us, Philodemus, and for making philosophy just the right amount of pretentious.
Thank you, Molly. And remember, question everything, trust the evidence, and always keep an eye on the pigeons. They know more than they're letting on.